What's up, everybody? Today's gonna be Tuesday. Tuesday's my tracking day. All right. This is some Call of Duty background footage right here, but after this video, it's gonna be lots and lots of Battlefield. This is just all I could grab at the moment, and my aim is really bad in this. So Monday or Tuesdays, all about tracking. We're gonna get into it. A few simple drills. I'm gonna start off with some things that I don't like doing, even contrary to some people's beliefs. So the first thing with that is gonna be like edge tracking. So while edge tracking, yes, it is a skill that you do have to master. It is also, I feel like you don't want to edge track when you're playing in game, you know? So for me, this whole aim training journey for me is going to be all about translating into game. While if you're trying to smash voltaic scores, get really high in the benchmarks, edge tracking is going to be great because you're on the edge. If the bot switches direction, it's going to cross, your crosshair is going to go across the bot and you're going to get more time on the target. And that's basically what edge tracking is. So as far as that, like translating over into game, I think it'd be way more beneficial to try and get in the center of the bot, you know, trying to get center target, because in game, you know, if you hit center target, that's when you're going to be killing the fastest. I mean, unless you hit headshots, but I mean, for the most part, you want to be aiming, you know, center mass in the chest, maybe even in the stomach if you have to. Mouse and key is very difficult for that, but training that in the training core, like when you're doing practice, is going to be key. So that's why I don't want to edge track. A lot of people recommend edge tracking, and that's great if you're just trying to smash voltaic scores. If you're trying to, you know, get really high up on the voltaic scores, there's a lot of ways that you can cheese those scores in voltaic, and I just don't want to do that. I want to try to build a great foundation. Another thing that we're going to also try to work on, everything that I do first is going to be that close range tracking, because that is what's the most difficult on mouse and key. So what I don't want to do in close fast strafes is make the bot so fast that you're just swiping all over the place. When you swipe all over the place like this, I feel like you're going to be getting some bad habits of just trying to chase the bot down. And that's not what you want to do when you're doing tracking. What you really want to try to focus on is not predicting where the bot's going to go, but just reacting to it. So a lot of the scenarios like this are going to be called reactive, because you're supposed to be reacting, and it's really hard to react if you're brand new, you're not very good, just like I am. I'm not very good. It's going to be hard to react when the bot is moving so fast. So I got this idea from another YouTuber. I don't know if I can use his name. I don't know how all that works just yet, but I got it from somebody else, so don't take this as me. What I do in my tracking scenarios is I start real slow to the point where I can get like 65-75% accuracy on these close ones, and I kind of shrink the bot down a little bit. And then that's what I do right now. I feel like they would build a better foundation if you are able to make these smooth. See how my micro corrections are nice and smooth? They're not just yanking all over the mouse pad trying to chase down this bot. So that's what I think. I think that'd probably be more beneficial than you know, just doing it at regular speed and just swiping it all over the place. So I'm going to show a couple of them in here where it's like my first stage is going to be slow, and then my next one is going to be a little bit more difficult, whether that's speeding it up or making the target smaller. That's what I do with all my tracking situations, and I do these all for 5 to 10 minutes. It just kind of depends. All right, so the next one right here, I'm pretty sure in this one I made the target smaller, so it's the exact same idea. You're going to do something easy, and then you're going to backdoor it with something smaller. Like I said, I did not come up with this. This is somebody else. I learned from another YouTuber. Once I figure out how it all works using another YouTuber's name in my videos, I will give him full credit. It's not me, okay? But this one, like I said, smaller, you can do a little bit less on the accuracy. That's it. I mean, it's going to happen, but you don't want to just be doing the easy scenarios. You want to push yourself every single chance that you can to get better without over pushing yourself. You know, it's just like if you're working out in the gym, you know, and you're trying to lift more, you don't want to just go as heavy as humanly possible because you're going to hurt yourself. You know, it's the same thing. You're going to develop bad habits. You're going to get bad form. You're going to be looking like one of those clowns in those gym videos. Okay. So what I think is best is like you do something easy. It's just like your warm up or, you know, something like that. And then the next one is going to be that one where you're really pushing, trying to get that accuracy as high as you can while it's still being difficult enough to challenge you. You don't want it to be so easy where you're getting like 90% accuracy, 95, 85. I think that's a little bit high. I really think like between 55 and 75 for close range targets is going to be that sweet spot. If you can't get there, I mean, I get it. You know, I think I have one in here. I can't get anywhere near that. Next, this one's going to be close range tracking. This one, you're actually moving as well. So it's not just you're stationary and the bot is moving. You are moving and it is moving. So this is going to be great because a lot of your gunfights, you're not going to be really standing still. You're going to be moving in some way and really working on moving and not, I don't like to mirror the targets because that's like cheesing it. Yes, you could do that in game, but right here, I want to focus on unpredictability. I don't want to be cheesing these scenarios by edge tracking or mirror tracking where you just mirror the bot's movements and you really don't have to aim that much. That is something that we can learn later on. We want to build a firm foundation of being able to track regardless of what situation that we're in. All right, so tracking, man, it's difficult and it's super important. So next, like I said, everything just goes into a stage 2 for me. We do each of these for 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes if you can. This one, I believe I slowed it down or I made the bots bigger. I can't really remember. And then we're just going to be trying to get that accuracy down. We're trying to push ourselves to do things that we don't think that we can do so that we can get better. And that's what I'm trying to do in my Kovacs routine. I want to become a really, really consistent, really good mouse and keyboard player. If I could get to the point where I was on controller, on mouse and key, that would be incredible across multiple games. I just feel like mouse and key is going to translate to more games. I'm not going to be relying on aim assist. If they nerf aim assist, if they, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's going to be the same to me because I'm playing on mouse and key. I don't have aim assist to begin with. Mouse and key is such a precise input. It takes a lot of work to get to being good. You know, I watch other YouTubers and I see their aim and I'm like, man, this is something that I really want to be good at. And I've told a lot of my friends and they just are like, why are you doing this to yourself? But it's just something I feel drawn to do. Next, we're going to be doing Clover raw control. I use the easy scenario, and this is really working on those really, really small, like fingertip tracking movements right here. We're trying to get some pretty good accuracy. So if you have to slow it down to where you're getting good accuracy. I think on these really small micro ones, like 50% is really, really good. Hitting shots at this, you know, at a longer range, 50% I feel is pretty good accuracy. Even for a controller player, I feel like it's still really good accuracy. So don't get down on yourself. Mouse and key is difficult, especially when you're just learning. Don't get discouraged when you see all these other people that are really, really good, or all the times you're going to get destroyed by controller players. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's just part of the process. It's going to happen. I really feel like the biggest adjustment from moving from controller to mouse and key for somebody that's always played on controller is going to be the movement, because you know your WASD keys are just a full input. You don't have like where you can do just a small movement left and right. You have it's 100% whatever you press. This one right here that I found, this one's really good. If you're taking a jump pad, you know, if you're flying in a helicopter in Warzone, whatever it is, you're kind of doing all these things. So you're practicing on going over them. This is really hard for me, getting this tracking just right. But this is a very niche situation right here. But I really feel like practicing these niche situations is going to be what helps me progress faster, because I'm getting into these situations that I'm not really going to be in all the time, and I'm working on them early, while still also trying to build a great foundation with the fundamentals of, you know, close range tracking. We're going to do some smooth stuff. That is going to be key right here. A lot of people say on like smooth scenarios to like raise your sensitivity. I understand the concept behind it, because it is going to like bring out all your problems and how not smooth you are. But I really want to get good at the sensitivity that I play at right around that area. Some games you're not going to be able to dial in that sensitivity exactly, but if I can get really comfortable there, that's why I don't want to do like put my sensitivity super high and do that maybe later on when I'm really trying to just dial everything in really good. Next is going to be Air Angelic. This is going to be another reactive situation. You're going to be learning target reading. Target reading is really key with mouse and key because you don't have the aim assist to kind of help you keep on target. You have to read the movements of the target and kind of follow them. So whether that's like a target's moving their shoulder down, like they're strafing in this direction, one way or the other, that is going to be something that's very key. And that's why being able to see your target is so important. That's why a lot of these Call of Duty games are really difficult for mouse and key. They have a lot of visual obstruction. The gun bobs around. You got smoke, you got flash, you got all this crap going on all over your screen all the time. That's why using an optic on mouse and key is really, most people really prefer that. While it's still possible to do without it, it just helps out a lot because you have to see what you're shooting at. So that's because target reading is so important. You don't want to be predicting, you want to be reacting. React to the targets, don't predict the targets. Popcorn, another very niche situation right here, but I really feel someone's taking a zip line in Warzone, or someone's taking a zip line in Apex. Even now, Battlefield 6, they have the zip lines as well. If someone's taking a zip line, they are going straight up and down in a controlled motion, which should be a very easy track for us on mouse and key because we're going straight up and straight down. So this is just working on that, really trying to get some good accuracy here. And just like I said, everything I do a slow one and a more difficult one. Easier one, more difficult one. Just sandwich them right there. And eventually, if you're getting higher accuracy, you're like, oh man, you know, I've been doing 60% accuracy and now I'm getting 80% accuracy. Sorry, 60% speed and now I'm getting 80% accuracy. You might have to reduce that. Now you're doing 70% speed, you know. Next is going to be Wisp Spear. This is a kind of a mixture of reactive and smooth, I kind of feel, because it's kind of moving every direction, but it's moving in large planes. So this one I feel is great, working on that tracking of things moving in weird directions. I really like Wisp Spear. I found it from another content creator. Everything that I'm finding right now is going to be all from other content creators. None of this stuff is my original scenarios or anything like that. I'm getting them from somebody else, watching them and then learning from them as well. That's the great thing about YouTube. There's so much knowledge on there that you can learn from other people. Next is going to be Smooth Sphere. I'm not really working super hard on smoothness right now. It's more going to be that reactive, because I feel like that's where I'm the weakest at, is going to be that reactive tracking. So lots of close range, Air Angelic, and then that Clover raw control to get those smaller, finer movements down, I feel is really going to be the most beneficial to me right now. After I do all these scenarios here, like I said, 5 to 10 minutes, 2 like reps of each one, I guess you want to call it. One easier, one more difficult. What I really like to do after that is something I've kind of just found and I'm working on it, and I really feel like it helps me, but it's only specifically on tracking. So it's going to be sensitivity randomizer. Inside Kovacs, they have a thing where you can use sensitivity randomizer. And what that's going to do, it's going to give you a random sensitivity that you set between a range. So I have mine set to a 0.5, so like half my sense, I guess, and then double my sense. So that I can, it just, that variation where it switches during the scenario, I really feel like it really pushes the learning there, because you're doing different things, you're doing it a different way, and it's stretching your brain and stretching your body to do things that it didn't think that it can do. It's just like doing different kinds of rep ranges and stuff like that with working out. I feel like it's just something different to help keep you guessing. So sensitivity randomizer, I've really been working on it, but I've only really been working on it with tracking. I don't know how beneficial it would be in like flicking or clicking or target switching just yet. I haven't really tried it too hard. It is something that I really do feel like it helps me. So I usually do about 40 minutes of just regular tracking, and then whatever time I have left after that for my hour or hour and a half of tracking each day. Like I said, tracking is right now going to be the most important to me, so I try to put a little bit more time into it. Any extra time usually goes into tracking and target switching, which may be bad because it's not what I'm the worst at. So that's what I do right now. And then after I get done with my usual scenario, about 40 minutes, after that, then I will go into, all right, let's turn on the sensitivity randomizer. Let's work on doing things that are going to really stretch us. So that's what I do. The rest of my time is going to be tracking on sensitivity randomizer, mostly like smooth scenarios. And you can set the amount of time that it takes for it to switch and how it switches. Is it a smooth transition or is it like an instant transition? So you can set both of those parameters in there. That's what I like to do. So that's really going to be my Monday routine right now, or Tuesday. I'm sorry, my Tuesday tracking routine. Next for Wednesday is going to be target switching. That's going to be my next video. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have some Battlefield gameplay in there. So if you're wanting Battlefield gameplay, I understand. Call of Duty, it freaking sucks right now. I played Black Ops 7. It is the worst mouse and key game I've ever experienced in my life. It is abysmal. They do say that they might be nerfing aim assist in some way. That might make it a little bit better, but just with the amount of lag, the packet burst, the way that the players move, it's just all really bad. The way the guns move around while you're jumping or doing the movement tech that you need to do to compete with other people at a high level. The way the gun moves around is probably one of the biggest things for me that's detrimental to my aim. I remember in Modern Warfare 2019, the guns did not move at all. And mouse and key, while still not as prominent as it was a lot more than it is now. So that's another thing, that if they don't fix that, this game, it's just going to keep going downhill. They removed SBMM, at least part of it, and they are going to move it for the full game, which is great. I think that's awesome. But I think it's just a little too late for us, man. I really feel like they could have done more a long time ago. Why did it take us to get to this point? So that's what I think about Black Ops 7. I think it sucks. I think the maps are overrated. They look great visually, but they play terrible. At least the ones that we played in the beta. Mouse and key feels terrible. The input of the mouse actually in the game feels terrible. I'm not sure what they do to the game to make it feel so absolutely terrible. And that's what I think about it, man. I just think for mouse and key, it's going to be a terrible game. Unless you're an absolute top 1% player, Strafe, Metaphor, Defaults, one of those guys. If you're not one of those people, if you're just a casual mouse and key player or just getting into it like I am, it's going to be a skip. I mean, we'll see what they say with the aim assist nerfs, how dramatic it is. It's just like the worst player can destroy you on mouse and key just because they're aim assist. So that's all I have for y'all guys today. Like and subscribe. I'm going to be doing some Battlefield content, I promise. I can't really live stream right now. It just destroys my frames and it doesn't give a good picture. It lags a lot. So maybe one day when me and my wife move into our new house, maybe I'll be able to get a streaming setup done. But as of right now, it's just going to be these videos showing how I'm getting to where I'm getting, and then just following me along in my journey. Thank y'all. Hope y'all have a great day. See y'all next week.